Hi there, Laura Cook here, and today I want to chat about something which I find really, really fascinating, and it is the kind of phrase, the concept that you'll have heard around does money and can money actually buy you happiness? And you'll have heard other things like you can't take your money with you, you need to save up for a rainy day. There are lots of kind of these phrases kind of banded around money and how you should use it and the intention behind money. But I want to focus on this thing around can money buy you happiness? Now, you may or may not have heard that there was a big research study done or released back in 2010, and this research study is often misquoted. And that, I think, is where this kind of phrase of money can't buy you happiness comes from. And it really, what the study found is that there is a point at which you earn a certain amount of money in your life where your basic needs are met. So it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different if you live in a really big city like London, or if you live out in the country, like up north in the UK, like I do. The cost of living is very, very different, and therefore to meet your basic needs, you need different amounts of money. So the study that was done in America, and it suggested that £75,000 was the tipping point. So once you earn this $75,000, that you would achieve this state of emotional well-being, and any more money than that, you would not improve your emotional well-being. And it's simply because you would get those basic needs met. So you wouldn't have that stress of, can I afford enough food? Can I afford my rent this month? Can I afford my mortgage? Do I have enough for my kids and things like that? But what the research study also went on to say was that you can improve your life satisfaction, that the more money you have, the more likely you have a higher level of life satisfaction. And the reason for that is because the more money you have, the more choices you have, the more you can use your money to pay to get things that you don't like to do or that you're not good at doing outsourced and done by somebody else. So it takes away that friction and that frustration of you having to do it yourself, and it frees you up to do and have more time to do more of the things that you enjoy. So you're using your money wisely to improve the quality of your life. So that is what I find really fascinating. And it really does depend upon you using your money and investing it to outsource those things you dislike. So a really great example of this, and this certainly was something that happened in my life, of what not to do in relation to does money buy you happiness, is when I think back to former colleagues that I used to work with and my time in my former career in the corporate world, is that we can be earning a really good amount of money, but you can end up becoming so busy. And whilst in the back of your mind, you're like, I really want to take a trip. I really want to go on holiday. I really want to invest in art classes, in picking up a hobby that I haven't done for a really long time, but I just don't have the time to do it. And so you never get round to it, despite really, really wanting it and really knowing that that would make you happy, that would really add so much to your life. And the truth is, in these situations, when you have a good salary, or you're kind of, think back to a previous job where you were making money, really good money, but you weren't allowing yourself to do these things. It isn't a money problem. It's like you can afford to do those things, but you're saying to yourself you don't have the time. So this isn't a money problem. This is a psychology problem, because in these situations, you can use your money to invest in getting somebody else to organize your holiday, to invest in getting somebody to come to your house to show you how and train you in art and developing your hobbies. There are different ways. It's thinking outside the box. It's how do you use that money to be able to do that. So in those situations, often we can get it caught into this mindset of, well, I just need to make the money, and when I make the money, then I can have the fulfillment and the happiness, and things will just fall out naturally. But they typically don't. And certainly I experienced that in my past career, and I've brought that kind of pattern with me, and it's something I've had to intentionally work on. So like I say, it's really more around a mismanagement of your resources, and your resources, particularly our money, Money which you can earn, you can spend, it comes, it goes, it flows. Time which we can never, ever get time back. So time is certainly one of our most critical and useful resources. And our team. So if you have a team inside of your business, if you have a team for your house, like you have a cleaner and things like that in your life, you have a team of people. And how can you use and invest in those people to help you get more from your own life? So there's a really great way I want to share with you to really think about how you can really think about this inside your life and inside of your business. And the question to really ask yourself is, what do you get from being in business? What do you get out of it? What do you deserve as a result of all this hard work, of all this uncertainty, the risk, the financial investment you've made, the time you put in? What are you getting back from that? What is it giving you? Now, when I ask most people that, what they'll say is, well, what I get from it is more money. The more I work, the more time I put in, I get more money in my business. And it's like, okay, so what do you get from having more money? And a lot of people get stuck there. Just like I said, we can be of this perception that once we make the money, then the fulfillment and the happiness and those great things will just happen naturally. But often we'll just keep making the money and we don't see how to bring more satisfaction into our life because we feel like we don't have the time. So pay attention if that is you and if that is what is coming up for you right now. But what I want to really highlight is that you really deserve to use your money in a way that is going to improve your life satisfaction, that is going to improve your happiness. It's really about thinking about how do you use these resources inside your business to be able to create that freedom and that fulfillment that you most likely, like all of us, started our businesses for in the first place. And so that you don't continue to run this pattern and this sabotaging behavior continuously over and over and over again, waiting that if you get that next bit of money, if you get that next client, then you're going to be able to like outsource something, then you're going to be able to go on holiday, then you're going to be able to do this. It's really like, what can I do now and how can I create this life now to enjoy it through the journey? So I want to give you an example of how I've been able to shift this. So one of the things my husband and I really, really wanted to do for a really long time was to take like an extended holiday. And when we were employed, it's not something our employers were open to unless we basically quit our jobs and then would have to go back and get new jobs. And obviously that is a past lifetime for us. So now both of us are independent business owners. And we have a lot more freedom in choosing whether we take a long holiday or not. So when it came to our honeymoon, we made the commitment that this is something we were really going to do. And instead of taking like a usual typical 2-week holiday to go on our honeymoon, we decided that we would take 6 weeks. And we traveled from the UK all the way over to New Zealand, and we basically decided that we're putting in so much into our business, we're investing our time, taking on this risk, all this uncertainty, that we deserve to get back from this a really extravagant, well-paid, fabulous honeymoon the other side of the world. And not only that, we also hired somebody to organize the entire trip for us. So we were able to figure out how to make our businesses operate without us. We were able to get it planned and prepared and scheduled to do a big tour of the entire country with the support of somebody else helping us to do that. So that is one way we've been able to shift inside of our life, where we felt like we couldn't use our money because we didn't have the time to, we're investing huge amounts in our business. We're giving so much to our business that we deserve to get back from it and in equal proportions. So really this all comes back to how are you managing the resources inside your business, your time, your money, and your team. Because if you are constantly telling yourself you just don't have the time to do the things you want to do, if you have the money in the bank but you aren't using it to invest in the things you really want to do, and you're investing in things that are distractions, or you're constantly investing in growth in your business for the future in the long term, but you're never taking that holiday, you're never taking that step back, Or if you feel like you can't leave your team, your business will not be able to cope without you being there, and your team can't manage without you, then these are sabotaging patterns. They're preventing you from creating the reality and the life worth living that you truly, truly want to have. So my question for you is to take a step back and ask yourself, how can you create more happiness in your life? How can you use your money to improve your life satisfaction? What is it that you get? What is it you deserve from your business? So I'd love to know, what is it that you are going to get from your business, from this crazy, risky, uncertain experience of being an entrepreneur? Because I truly do believe that money can improve our life satisfaction, our happiness, and really cultivate and create our own life worth living.